Hello everyone, and welcome to Mega Man X3, my favorite of the Super Nintendo trilogy, despite some little hiccups here and there that are fair to point out. And joining me today is the lovely Fornea. How are you doing today, friend?
Hello. I'm doing well enough. And yourself?
Doing very well. So, see these cutscenes right here? These are actually from the PS1 re-release, originally only released in the PAL regions before it was repackaged with the X collection for PS2, Xbox, all that.
I actually didn't know that there was a PlayStation port for, X3 and whatnot.
Yeah, there where the X collection version came from. And these cutscenes are just awesome. Like, they're not only gorgeously animated, they have actual choreography in them. I mean, how many other openings do you know of that get that creative?
It certainly is imaginative looking, although, whenever it comes to, videos that are, adaptations of video games or something, I always find myself in the territory of, that's not possible, you stop that. You cannot drop the freaking snakes on Launch Octopus and auto-kill him. You shut up.
At least they got his Z-Saber,
and that
right?
didn't happen. That totally did not happen. That extremely did not happen.
They were going with some alternate canon here, that's true.
Evidently. Oh, what is this bullshit?
He used the password!
The password. Off.
And 20-foot long lightsabers, we got that.
I haven't been this mad since I watched the Prince of Persia film and he lifts a gate with his bare hands.
And can we talk about how strong his charge shot is? Like, wow!
Yeah, like, I wasn't going to say anything when he just, killed the water snake in one shot, because I'm like, okay, fine, artistic license, but now they're just going, and I'm mad.
Anyways.
See, this is the part I know.
Yeah, this is in the SNES version. You have to wait till all the anime cutscenes go on before getting it now, though.
So are you actually playing the PlayStation version, or are you playing the original version?
I'm playing the Super Nintendo version, just adding in the nice stuff.
Gotcha.
Listen to that nice tune. Don't you just feel the whimsy in this wonderful utopian community?
Oh, absolutely. The entirely appropriate theme music and this structure in the background, which is not evocative of anything at all.
Yep. But yeah, we're talking about how a guy called Dr. Doppler is finally putting the kibosh on that Maverick virus that's making everyone go crazy.
I'm just over here wondering, did he used to be a weatherman or a cosmonaut that went really fast?
I have no idea. I'm just wondering what happened with his hair in that opening cutscene. That was weird.
Weatherman, then.
Yeah. Also, spoiler alert, he was the mastermind all along. Like, that really surprises anyone at this point.
Mega Man 6 was his favorite classic Mega Man.
Oh yeah. Although I guess it is kind of going back to its roots that an evil doctor is behind everything, of course.
It's always a weird relationship in, the Mega Man series of games where it's just like, there is one good doctor. And debatably one okay doctor who loves his daughter very much, and all of the rest of them are the worst people in existence. Every other doctor should be shot.
Well, it's all about machines and technology and stuff, so we gotta get ourselves someone appropriately smart in order to challenge our heroes, I guess.
I like how they brought back, the B ships from the intro in X1.
Oh yeah, that's a nice touch. Also, you'll note...
And they're high enough where X can't shoot them, so they learned.
Yeah. You'll also note that this is actually the first X game where I'm actually using the original localization, because this one is actually pretty accurate to the original script. Unlike X2 and, to a certain extent, X1.
Oh, like there was a whole lot of script in X1.
True, but, still.
Alright, so we have more PlayStation exclusive content over here, with X once again doing the impossible and aiming straight upwards, and then jumping just as high.
And then whiplash in the music. And also the sky is blue instead of red. Could this be the nightmare?
I'm just over here going, of all the reasons of why X was able to jump onto this thing and start shooting it, just got really mad and jumped straight up from the ground is about the most disappointing answer that I can think of. Like, I would have thought that it's like, okay, it's like kind of like a thing from X2. He was on a bike, he rammed it super hard and, did like, the Yoshi launch and got onto the bug ship that way. No, he just jumped and made me angry.
Yeah. And speaking of anger-inducing, you'll notice I'm damage boosting past a lot of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Not the fastest or cleanest way of doing it, but I'm gonna start showing off strats like that now before we get into the likes of X5 and X6. Those games get really bad about having screenfuls of enemies that take forever to actually fight when you can just damage boost past them and make things a lot easier. Can't do that every time, but still. Intro stages like this, where you don't actually do where you don't get hurt a lot, and there's refills at the end, very effective tactic.
Oh, sure. And now the real reason to play this game.
Yeah!
Also, I noticed the little controller input display being switched over to red.
Yeah, I figured as long as I could do that, why not?
So I'm just over here, like, looking at this, and I know that you know a lot about this game, and I know enough about this game to know about, like, some of the tech you can do. Not a lot of it, but some of it. Like, very specific things, and I'm just over here wondering, are we going to be seeing Quicksaber?
Huh. I have no idea what that is, so no.
Really? I'm actually surprised. Well, do you want me to go over that now, or hold that?
Let's hold that for now. You'll note that many bosses and bosses have invincibility frames, so you can't just rapid fire them. And you'll also notice that regular pellets do more damage if you dash beforehand.
Yep.
And you'll also
Charged
notice...
lemon.
Yeah, and you'll also notice that the sabers are just ludicrously strong. Probably one of Zero's saving graces, because otherwise he handles a little roughly compared to X. Bigger hitbox and all that, we'll get more into that later in the next episode, but Zero is a prime example of a great idea that's implemented a little awkwardly. We'll cover that later.
Yeah, like, the big thing that they have you doing is, like, if you ever die as Zero, then you don't get Zero anymore. Screw you. And I always thought that was unreasonably harsh.
It is. I have a workaround for that I'll show in the next video, but for now, we're just sort of blowing through this guy. He takes 2 damage from regular shots, 3 from green shots, 4 from charged shots, but he also only does 1 unit of health per hit. So he's also pathetically weak, although really hard to do a damageless run on. If you're unlucky enough to where he attacks you right off the gate, you pretty much have to do a pixel-perfect dash just to evade it. So that can be really annoying, but other than that...
So he's a gun... So they're a Gunstar Superheroes boss.
Basically. Did you also see how his eyes popped out of his head? That's what happens when you make an enemy partly sprites and partly background-based. Because the background moves a little slower than the sprites, so it doesn't line up quite right.
Yeah, you can also fit way more stuff in there. I think that's how they solved the enemies on screen problem in, like, Rekka on NES, was that all the enemies are just on the background layer instead of sprites.
Yeah. Anyways, so there's a lot of ways. I'm gonna get this out of the way now so it doesn't clog the other episode. Basically, we're not doing the weakness order, because that makes you backtrack to 6 different stages, which is a lot.
Right.
So instead, for this walkthrough, I'm gonna show you a route that has only 1 revisit in it. Only 1. As opposed to the speedrun route, which has 2 revisits, is slightly faster for complicated reasons, slightly harder though. If you want to see the quote-unquote efficient and quick strats, the expert way of doing it, check out my all achievements run. But this is going to be more walkthrough focused for beginners, hence the damage boosting at the start.
Right.
Yeah.
It also kind of showcases in the beginning that you're really not under any threat.
Nope. Well, but I'm still gonna make things easy for anyone new to this. So, this is the end of this episode. Join us next time to get into the game proper. Have a lovely day, everyone, and God bless you all.
Bye.
Bye.